All right. Okay, can one of you confirm you could see my screen?
We can see your screen.
Yeah, we see it.
Okay, good. So, last week I showed you how to log in here, input and output. What is input, what is output, clear the screen. When you do a touch, it will create a file. ls command we looked at, and how to use the switches with the ls command. And let's see what else. We talked about hidden files. We talked about history command, how you could use the history command. And so anybody have any questions? So for the folks who are joining new,
Yeah, I have a question. So for this server, how did you set it up? How much did it cost? And do you just keep the server on like nonstop?
yeah, it's a local server on site, and um, the cost is not much. It's barely any cost
Hmm.
because Linux is free, right? So you could install it and start using it. Uh, you could, I mean, virtual machines for virtual machine. Are you familiar with
Yeah,
uh, Oracle
virtual.
virtual machine?
I know there's VMware on VirtualBox. I use VirtualBox though, but I hear that VMware is better.
Yeah, VMware is really expensive. Yeah, use for home lab, use VirtualBox.
Got
It's
it.
really easy. Anybody else have familiarity with VirtualBox? What I could do is before the class ends, I could show you how to set up a VirtualBox, and then you guys could have that. And somebody says Pro Max, they're familiar with Pro Max. Okay. All right, so let's continue on here. So we looked around moving the directory, relative path, and absolute path. Okay, so by the way, anybody is already using Linux at their work?
I don't use it for work, but I've been using it like personally for like years, but not at like my job now. But personally, yes.
Mm, okay. All right, so literally this is a follow along. I could have you guys follow along what I'm doing at the same time. You could do it. And so I see Sean here. Sean, have you logged in before? Sean, Give me one moment here. Okay. So let me know, whoever don't have access, just ping me on WhatsApp group, then I will help you with that. Okay, so let's continue on. So we looked at the copying the directories and stuff, right? That's where we left off. Okay, and so let's continue on here. Today's date is 06/21/2025.
Oh, cool.
Okay, all right. So the next command we're gonna do is echo. All right. So what echo command is, when you type something, it will repeat after itself. So if I say echo, if I say echo, I hit enter, and there is nothing in there. So if I type echo, and if I type this is Linux course, and I hit enter, so what echo does is, literally echo means repeat, right? It repeats what you say. So you type echo there and it says this is Linux. It will not repeat echo, but it will repeat whatever is in front of it. So here I typed in this is Linux, okay? And this is what it showed up on the screen. So here, what happened here, I typed echo and there is nothing in front of it, right? So it gave us a blank line. Okay, can you go on mute, please? Okay, good. All right, so let me just put this here, echo. Okay, any questions regarding this? So we'll see how this will work out later on. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to run multiple commands, running multiple commands. So how can you run a multiple commands? So I type pwd, then I type the command ls-l, and then I could do a bunch of stuff there, right? So I want to know, or I could also type like tree. Okay, these are like a multiple commands. So how do I run multiple commands on a single line? What you could do is you could do this. You type pwd and you type semicolon. Okay, when you type a semicolon, what happens is it opens or it allows you to put in another command here. So what I could do here is I could do ls-l, and then I could do the command tree. Okay. And then let's see here what else we did here. We did copy, we could do that too. But for now, I'm looking for only the commands which give you the output. So let's see here what I have here. Copy, I have, I could do CD also. I could do mkdir. I could do almost all commands, but let me just show you the command which gives you the output here. So I'm going to do like a regular ls, and I could do also ls-a. So if I hit enter here, what the system is going to do is all these are individual commands here, but it will give you the output and it will run all at the same time. So if I hit this, there you go. pwd command output is here, and then ls-l output. Okay, so I didn't give the space here. That's why it's giving me error here. So ls, it should have been a space here. Okay. Then the next command was tree. So this is the output for tree. And ls, it's a regular ls. So this is the output for ls here. And ls-al, and this is the output for ls-al here. So now visually it looks all in one place, right? So what I could do is I could bring the line back up, and in here I could type echo, and what I could do is I could do echo here like couple times so that there is a space between each command. Okay, then tree. Okay, now you see it looks much better here. The output looks much better, right? There's a spaces in here. What else I could do is I could clear this, and I'm going to go like echo this is pwd. Okay, it's going to tell us pwd echo this is ls-l, Okay. And then echo, this is tree. Okay, so I'm gonna reduce this a little bit here, okay? And then if I go back here I see this is PWD, okay? So this is PWD. And then the next command is this is LS-AL. Okay, so this is LS-L, sorry. And then so this is the command it ran. Echo this is tree. And then it says echo this is tree here. And then the output for the tree. So, I mean, this is just a easy way I'm showing here, but later on, when we will be doing the scripting, you will see the results of how you could use echo command here and running multiple commands simultaneously. So when something you are running here, the commands, one command after the command, becomes a bash script, okay? So when you type here on the command line, this becomes a bash script. All right. So moving along, let's see what else we have here. So let me clear the screen. So what I'm going to show you next is a alias command. What you could do is you could create an alias. That means a shortcut for all the commands you have. And what you could do is you could run just one command and it will run all the other commands, which is attached with that alias. So let me show you how it works. So let's see here. If I type alias,
Yeah, how are you?
I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, so I type alias and then I'm going to type Zafar equals, and in the quote I'm going to say ls-l, then I'm going to say pwd, then I'm going to say then I'm going to say touch, no, not touch, this should be enough here. You could put as many commands as possible in here, but I'm just keeping it to the minimum. I'll hit enter here. So next time, if I want to run these commands, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just type Zafar here. And it ran those commands for me. So you see ls-l, this is ls-l, and then pwd, and here's the output for pwd. Of course, you could make it look nice, but this is how you create an alias. Okay, you could add echo in there and then make the output look good. Any questions regarding alias?
Yes, sir. So when we use alias,
It's up to you. It's your personal preference. Whenever you like you want to see some information, first thing you come in, you log into the system and you want to take a look at the system uptime and stuff like that, you could do that too. Okay, so this is something you could create your own way and then start using it. So
Well,
you,
I had a question as well.
yeah,
What is the difference between the semicolon, the two ampersigns, and like the straight dash? Because they seem to do the same thing, like with multiple commands.
semicolon, this one?
Yeah, the semicolon and then the two, like doing that versus doing the two ampersands versus doing the one vertical line. They seem to do something very similar.
I think he's trying to say like the semicolon and the and sign and also the pipeline, the
Yeah,
pipe.
the pipe one, as you said, and then the two ampersands. Like if you do ls, like ampersand ampersand PMWD, it will kind of do something similar to the semicolon.
Yeah, the thing is sometimes that is more of the deeper scripting. But I
Okay.
would say stick with semicolon here. It's just one character you're putting in.
Okay.
Over there, you're putting in like three characters to make it work.
Got it. Okay.
You know, the easy. I mean, honestly, you could do a lot of things here, right? For example, in here, okay, in here, what you could do is if you want to copy something, you could do right click and copy, right?
Mhm.
And then you could also do Control C on the keyboard. It's going to do the same thing. So that's what um, these things are built in the Linux as well as in Windows environment.
Mhm.
You could do same exact things multiple different ways.
Right.
So honestly, myself, I stick with the easier way so that it's easier for me to understand myself later on and not be confused. And it will be easier for other person who would be reading your script later on to see what the script is doing.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, and you can create your own command. Okay, and this is good for running multiple commands. Are you already familiar with scripting? Anybody here already familiar with scripting part?
I dabbled a bit like years ago. I dabbled in like batch like scripting for the Windows CMD and a little bit of bash scripting for Linux, but not too in depth, just like really basic stuff.
Okay. All right. So if you want to see a list of aliases in the system, just type alias. Okay. And you see the one I created is over here. And the other ones are system built in. These are like built-in aliases. These are built-in aliases you could use, but I'm not worried about it. So how do you so to look at the alias, this is what you do. Okay, and to remove the alias you created, so all you have to do is unalias, unalias, and then put in the name of the alias you want to remove. That's it. That alias I created a bit earlier is gone. If you type alias, that thing is gone here. You don't see Zafar here anymore. Okay. So if I type Zafar here, it's gonna say command not found. All right. So now we're gonna go into the VI editor. So this is an important topic here. In Linux, everything is file based, right? So we are we're gonna start going into bit advanced stuff right now. So far, it's been easy peasy stuff, right? I mean, just the simple single line commands. Now it's gonna get complicated a bit. So what I'm gonna do is so here ls-l, right? You guys have some. Everybody do ls-l. You guys should have something on your screen, whatever we did last time. By the way, Sean and Kumar, the people who joined today, uh, so we have a discussion group here. What you guys could do is you guys could reach out to other people in their team so that they could help you. If actually it will help them also learn. But reach out to me, and if you need any help, let me know. We could have like a quick session during week, and then I could help you out with the first session you guys missed. Okay, guys, please put some interest in here. This is very very good, and in future, a lot of things depends on Linux here. By the way, anybody know where is Linux running? Where?
Everywhere.
Huh?
Servers, smart like TVs,
Mm-hmm.
supercomputers, cars. It's like
Yeah.
everywhere.
Tesla is running what? Linux, Android, and Android and iOS. These are all byproducts. Actually, Unix back in 70s, it used to be Unix invented by AT&T, but they made it free later on, and it became a lot of people start using it, and they used um, a lot of flavors here, but the most popular right now is Linux. If you know how to work on binary and stuff, you could take Linux and create your own operating system, provided it is free. You could use the code whatever you want, but you have to make it free. So how do these companies make money? They provide support. Support is not free. So that's how you make money. Let me give you a 2 minute pause before I get into VI editor. This is really good topic, and I would recommend everybody do hands-on with me, okay? All right, let me grab some water here, guys. Okay, let me start rolling here. So So what we're gonna do is, so far, we have just created the file here, right? That is easy peasy stuff. But what I'm gonna do now is, I'm gonna say VI, and then I'm gonna say text file, TEXT, hyphen file, and I'm gonna hit enter. So notice there is no text file created in the system here, but I'm gonna create this for the first time. So I do VI text hyphen file and I hit enter, and I get into the file here. So right now you are just a dark screen here. So what you could do here is, on your keyboard, push I as in India. And when you do that, down on the bottom, you see the insert mode. Do you guys see insert mode there? So what that means is, you are able to type in here. So I'm going to say something in here. Say this is Linux, and this is VI editor. Then you could do today is Saturday. Okay. So you are editing the file right now. Okay. So we have done that. Now, for you to get out of the editing mode, what you have to do is, you have to push the escape key. So over here, I'm going to say VI text file. Let me make it bigger here so that you guys could see. And this will come up here. Okay. So, and then what you're putting in here is, you're putting in some text. Okay. So text here, text input. Okay. And you see insert here, right? Insert mode means insert, means edit mode. You are in a edit mode right now. So let me copy this part here. Before that, by the way, everything is in lowercase, guys. Even this insert mode I, when you put it in, it's in lowercase. So I to enter the edit mode. Okay. And then look down here, it says insert, right? So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to push the escape key. Push the escape key on the keyboard. Okay, so what it does is, the insert down on the bottom will be gone. Okay, so insert is gone. Now what you have to do is, you have to quit, you have to save and quit the file here. So to do that, hold the shift key and push colon on your keyboard. So you get like a 2 dots. So look on the bottom of the screen here again. You see 2 dots there, right? And then push X as in Xerox. A little X. So here you need colon and little X. And then you're gonna have to hit enter. So here, and then you type escape. Okay, so what's gonna happen is escape is this will exit edit mode and put you in command mode. Okay, so when you are saving and exiting, this is a command mode, okay? So let me take a screenshot actually. And then if I hit enter there, you are out of there. Okay, so you're out of there. Now, so you want to see what's in the file there. Okay, so what's in the file is what you're gonna do is um, you're gonna do the cat command. Do cat cat text file, and you see the output of that file on the screen here without going inside that file. So you have two options now. Either you could go inside the file and read through the file, or you could do a simple cat that means concatenate, and it will show you on the screen here what is inside the file. So I'm gonna put here cat. Okay, so this command reads the content of the file here, okay? I'm coming, there is a lot of other things you could do, but so here you do escape to get out of there. And this part, let me put it down here. To come to this part, so first command is escape, ESC, then you do colon, then X. Okay, so to get to the colon, everybody knows the colon, how to get it there, right? So also this is a small x. Guys, anytime you encounter something like uppercase or something, just assume everything is in lowercase, because I don't really use any I'm sorry, I should rephrase. There are no commands in Linux that are in uppercase. So when you're working in a Linux environment, you don't have to worry about um, the grammar. Any grammatical mistakes you think you need to take care of in Linux environment, don't worry about it. And also, whenever you're creating a file, just go with lowercase. Don't worry about uppercase and stuff like that. So keep everything in lowercase, even the files you're creating. All right, so moving along. So you do this here. This is to save and exit, okay? Save and exit the file, okay? All right. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna learn some commands. There are a bunch of commands which is inside the VI editor. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do VI text file again, and I hit enter here. So if I do a command DD, so I'm gonna put it in here. Commonly used VI editor. Commonly used VI editor commands. Okay, so very first one I'm gonna say is, so if you want to delete a line, so what all you have to do is bring your cursor to that line, no matter where that cursor is in that line, okay? Just bring it in that line and push DD on your keyboard. D as in David, D as in David twice. What it does is it will delete the file, delete that line. DD. So DD, what it does is deletes the line. Okay, good. Now next one is, if I take the cursor and then place it where I need it and push a letter O, it opens a line underneath that in insert mode. Okay, so if you look at it here and I push O, okay, I push letter O, and what it did is it opened the line in insert mode. So opens the new line in insert mode. Okay. Okay, that's what O does. Let me move it to different, move it here. Okay, opens the new line in insert mode. Now what I could do is I could just simply start typing in there, okay? I could put it in here, whatever I want. So I would say like, I am learning Linux. And then I do escape. If I do escape, it will put me back in. It will put me back in the escape command. So what does escape does is, it will put me back in. What escape does is, it will exit mode and put you back in command mode. Okay. This will exit edit mode and put you in command mode. And if I do shift colon, if I do Q command, okay, sorry, if I do Q and exclamation, okay, and I hit enter, what it does is it quits the file without saving, even though you may have made any changes. What it does is it quits and without making any changes. Let's go back in the file here. I go into file, text, vi text hyphen file. I'm just in there to read it here. And then I am not making any changes. And then I'm going to just quit. That's it. Just do a regular colon Q. You will quit out of it without without flagging you for any errors. Okay. So if you made any changes, but you want to quit without saving any changes, you do colon, Q colon. Okay, what is this here? Q and exclamation, it will quit without making any changes. All right, so now I'm going to go back in here. I'm going to go, okay, so I want to copy first line here, okay? I'm going to copy the first line and paste it on the bottom line here. So what I'll do is I have to push YY real quick on my keyboard and then go down here and push P as in Papa on the keyboard. It copied the first line here. And then I put it over here. Okay. So I copied here and then I put it here. So the command I used was a small y. So this is a copy line. So it copies it and then it pastes it wherever the cursor is. So if you continue doing P, it will continue pasting it, okay? So this is what you do is copy and paste. And if you think you have done too many errors in here, or you want to go back to undo, like you do undo on the in the Windows environment, just push a little U on the keyboard. If you push the U key, it will undo it for you. Okay, so I'm happy what I did so far. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save and exit here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to escape shift colon X, as I mentioned earlier, and then hit enter. So it saved the file which I edited here. So if I do cat text file, I see the extra 2 lines I put in here, okay? So now you are manipulating this file here. So you're getting in the habit of working with these files here. 2-minute pause. Anybody have any questions? Okay.
No, sir.
No, okay. So let me just do a quick attendance here. Um, who joined who joined from iPhone? I see somebody joined for iPhone.
It's
And
me. It's Sam. It's Samuel.
oh, Samuel, okay.
Yes.
Okay, I have Sean and other Greg. Hey. Okay, so let's continue on. Now, what I'm going to do is, where is my mouse here? Okay. So I'm going to go back into the file here, and then I want to search something in the file here. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do like, I want to do like Linux here, Linux. So down on the bottom here, you type a slash and then the pattern. You type a slash and a pattern. What it does is it will tell you, um, it will match that pattern. Okay. So if I do something like, if I type today, so there is only one pattern that is matching today. Okay. So if you want to move between multiple patterns here, so it matched Linux here, and I hit enter. And then if you want to move between the multiple lines which has the same pattern, you push N as in Nancy on the keyboard, and it will guide you through whichever line you want to go through. Okay. All right. So let me put this here. Now I see, okay, I have Linux here, right? So what I want to do is I want to replace that. I want to replace Linux with a different word. So what I want to do is, so down on the bottom here, I do escape here. Okay, give me 1 second here. What am I? Okay, so I come back here and I want to search for a pattern and I want to replace it. So what I'm going to do is I come to the command line, and the method to do this is you put in the percentage sign and then you put in what you want to search. Okay, I want to search, sorry, percentage and a little s. Look down here, you have a percentage, little s, and a slash, then you type Linux. And then I'm going to replace it with Red Hat. Okay. So what is happening here is, so now you must be familiar with this thing called edit mode here, right? Edit mode and the command mode. So right now we are in command mode. And then what we did here is we add the colon. What we did is we type percentage and then we type a little s, and we are replacing Linux with Red Hat. So what it does is it's literally replaces wherever the Linux is with Red Hat. So let me take a screenshot of this here. Now, if I hit enter here, voila. You see, do you notice here? You notice here Linux is got replaced with Red Hat. Okay. So this is how you do this is how you would be like using this via editor to manipulate the file. Okay.
So, sir, so we can manipulate the file with the what they call the command, like an escape uh, colon and a percentage and as any word we can manipulate it in Linux.
Absolutely,
All
absolutely, yes.
right. Thank you.
So, I mean, it's just like find and replace in the Word document you would do it. That's what we're doing it here. So, okay. So what I'm gonna do here is,
I'm sorry, wondering. So, do you have anything like in the Linux, like in this file? I mean, not the file, like in the line or any paragraph. We can edit it without comment, with comment.
edit what?
Any word, like I mean, not the word like in a file. I think you did it. Okay, hold on a second. Let me see it. I mean, edit the line. Uh,
No, yeah, we just did that, right?
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yes. I'm thinking something else, but I forget. So if it's coming,
Mhm.
I'll ask you.
Okay, yeah, it comes up, ask me, okay?
Please, thanks.
And then the next one I'm gonna show you is, so I clear this and I come back here, and then sometimes you would have a file which has thousands of lines in it. So what you're gonna do, what line you're looking at, what you're gonna do is you type set number, okay? And hit enter. Now all of a sudden, you see all these lines have number set in it. Okay, so if you are talking with your colleague or somebody, you could tell them, okay, I'm seeing some problem on line number 5 or line number 3, whatever, and then he's going to go in there and he's going to check the set number, and then he would
See,
would
I'm gonna
cut it.
download the charger.
All right, so looks like we're doing pretty good here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to oh, what happened here? So I already have this prepared list. Whenever you guys have chance, go through this. And in all honesty, I'm not using this as much. So the ones I showed you are the only ones that you really need to worry about. All of the other ones I'm putting in here, you could use this as a reference point. Okay, so I put in one table in here. You could use it as a reference point, and you could practice on your own. But honestly, I'm not using all these as much. The most commonly I'm using is I already showed that to you. Okay, but this is good to have it here. I compiled it here. If you want to, I would say like go through it a couple times. This will be really good for you, okay? All right, so now let's go ahead and get out of here. Okay, I'm gonna X and hit enter. By the way, guys, be careful when you are manipulating the files, because if you are manipulating a configuration file, okay, what is going to happen if you are manipulating a configuration file and something happens? It could make the system go down, or something happens that will affect other systems. So when you are working when you're working on the Linux servers, very, very careful and check with your colleague before you really do anything, okay? All right. I mean, you should be a little bit cautious when you're doing stuff at work anyway. Just check before you really do it if you really don't know what you're doing. All right, so let's concentrate on the cat command here a little bit. Earlier, I showed you cat means it will concatenate. It will read the content of the file here. So, but let's expand that. Let's expand on that. All right. So we'll continue for another 10 minutes and then we'll take a 20-minute break. After that, we come back on top of the hour at 10 a.m. Okay. So the cat command, so the real definition here is the cat command stands for concatenate. So what it does, it reads the file and display the output. So now this is a very, very important command, and this is a command you will be using daily. I don't remember. I mean, I don't imagine I could be going without using a cat command. Okay, so this is a really important command, very common command, and it's very easy also. So let's see how we could use this command here. So, so here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do cat text file. And this is the command. This is the input. And what is this here? What is this here? Anybody? I explained you first day.
It's the text in the file.
Output. That is output.
But okay, yeah.
Input and output. Quick and easy. So now we're going to start manipulating even more. So before that, we need to learn about redirector, okay? This is another small topic, redirector. So I'm going to show you 3 important redirectors. Okay, so what I'm going to do is so I'm going to copy and paste this here just for the sake. And then I'm going to explain you. Okay. So the first thing I have here is when I'm doing cat text file and I hit enter, in reality, I'm doing this here. I'm doing the first line here. What am I doing is cat 0 and then the greater than sign and text file. So if you see here, there is no difference between here. So why even bother? Okay, there is no difference between these two. So this one is same as this one, and then the output is the same as both of them, okay? So what is the difference here? The difference is this here, this used to be in old days. This one used to be in old days. Back in the old days, when you are using a cat command and you want to direct to the file, that means which file you want to direct it to. It's called input. This is called standard input, but this got built into the new Linux environment here, okay? So that way you don't have to worry about it. So what you do is you just use the regular cat command. So if you're just using cat and the file name, you automatically are using the redirector, which is 0. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say like, so first one is standard input. So this is called standard input. Okay. So let me copy this part here. Standard input. Okay. You're using the input file to read it from. So you're using a cat command and you're inputting text hyphen file into the cat command to get the standard input. I'm sorry, using the standard input from using a cat command, using a standard input from this file to get the output here. Okay. Now, what happens is, so this is standard input. So the next one is standard output. So standard output, how is that going to work? Okay, let's take a look here. So when we do cat text file, so what is really happening here is you're taking this file and reading it, and this is the standard output you have. Okay, so you did a standard input using to the cat command using the standard input. you said to read this file, and the output for that file is here. Now what we could do is we are using a redirector here. So I'm going to do is, if I do ls-l, and if I have a file x1 here, right? So what I'm going to do is, I did cat text file one. Now instead of seeing this text file one, I'm going to send it to x file one. Okay, and I'll hit enter. Voila. What happened here now is the cat text file one, this output is supposed to come on the screen here. But what we did was we used the redirector standard output and we set it to file one. So what should I expect in X1? Anybody? Whatever we are supposed to see on the screen here, it went into X1. Remember, X1 is blank. There is nothing in it.
Right. So you're supposed to see the output in the X1.
Yeah, very good. So now here I should have been seeing this part here, but I told it, hey, I don't want to see it on the screen, but send it to this file. So what the system did is, okay, I will obey you. So anything instead of coming on here, it sent it to this file. And there you go. This file was empty. Now if I read that file, I have this here. And then if I do a 2 greater than sign, what it does is it adds the same output to the bottom of the line. So if I do just cat x1, now I have the previous output, which is to the file here. And then when I came in here, so what it literally does is when you have like a 2 greater than sign, it is telling the system to keep the existing content and add it to the bottom of the line. So that's what it did. If you do this here, it will override it and it will give you a new, it will override with the command, with the content from here. So now we had like this twice in here, right? X1. So if we go into X1 now, we're going to see it only once. See? Why? Because it override it. So be careful if you are overriding some kind of configuration file, and if you're doing this, you are dead in water. Don't be, I mean, just use your good judgment how you would be using this here, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this here and put it in the file. So I'm going to pause here. Let's take a 20-minute break. We'll come back at 10:05, okay? So break starts now. Go get refreshed and then we'll come back and knock this class out for the rest of the day. All right, so so we have started understanding what a redirector is. To recap, a redirector means we are just, instead of old days, we are just, you need to point to the standard input. Standard input is just a regular cat these days. So standard output, you have to give the greater than sign. And it used to be like 1 and greater than sign and then redirect. It used to be there, but now we could just do this here. Okay, so get familiar with using a single and double. So over here, I'm gonna make a note here. This double adds to the end of the file. Okay. And here, single this single greater than sign overwrites the file. Okay. All right, make a note of that. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is, so we learned number 1 and number 2, and we have to learn number 3 is standard error. Okay, standard error. So standard input is okay, this is standard input. Standard output is actually 1 greater than you. We're not using 1 greater than, we are just, let me just show you for the heck out of it. So if I type 1 in front of it, it does the same thing. But that was in the old days. In the old days, you would have to do 1 in front of it. But you're not doing that anymore. You're just putting just a greater than sign here. So let me put 1 in front of it here. Okay, now standard error. Two greater than. So what I'm going to do with the standard error is, okay, so I'm going to clear the screen here. So I'm going to generate a error here. So if I do cat, so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do PWD. Then what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do ls-l slash home, okay? And an asterisk. So what I'm trying to do is, I'm going to read ls-l home, and then whoever is user ID is there. So let's see if I have access to that. Okay, so what I did was I tried to read somebody else's directory here, and I'm getting a permission denied. So what this means is, this means that the permissions are the errors, right? These are the errors. And this is not the error. This is the good output, and this is the bad output that you don't have permission. So the errors are, whichever ones the errors are, this is going to capture this. So what I'm going to do is, then I'm going to say 2 greater than x2, okay? So what you notice is the good output, I could see it. The bad output, it got filtered out and it went in here, x2. When I use 2 greater than, it went into the file x2. Any questions here? I'm going to give 1 minute pause, and I want to know who is not confused here, okay? Because this is really a bit confusing here sometimes.
I have a quick question, but it's kind of something different. With Putty, it's like every time I come back to it, it says, "Oh, you're like inactive," and then it kind of like boots me out, and I have to log back in. How do I make it so Putty just keeps me logged in, so I don't have to keep logging back in
Yeah.
over and over again?
So in Putty, go into connection here and put it to 60 here.
Okay.
Okay, and then come back here and then put the, actually do this here. Launch Putty, and then whichever one is saved here, load it, and then go into connection and put it 60 here.
Okay.
Come back here and then click save.
Okay. Got it. I think.
Yeah. So now this one, if I go in here, cat x2, what am I going to see? I'm going to see all the errors in here. See, all the errors got captured in here. If I run it one more time, same thing happens and the errors get captured in x2. So if I want to keep the errors in there, so what I do is I do 2 greater than and x2. So I'll get the same output, but 2 greater than 2 double greater than, what it does is this output, it keeps it twice in there. I mean, what I'm trying to say is it will not override it. It will add to the bottom of the line here. Now you have like a lot more junk in here. So most of the time, if you don't want to see and you don't care about the junk here, what you do is you just normally do 2 greater than dev null. So this is dev null is built in here, and it discards in here and it doesn't save anything. It just gets rid of the stuff here. You have a question, Greg?
Yeah, I have a question. I didn't catch why you put a 2. I understand the append, you append in the home directory to do that now the directory. But what is the 2 for after the appended? Before the appended? Yes.
2 is the built-in standard errors. So what it does is it's catching only the errors. So here, if you don't put 2 in here, it becomes a standard output. So now the 2 greater than sign is reserved for standard errors. So when I run this here, okay, let's run this without 1. Okay, so when I run this without 1, it is on the screen, it is displaying all the errors. Good errors, these are the bad errors we are not interested in. I mean, bad output, which are errors we are not interested in it. And this is the good output which we are interested in it. So what happens is when you're doing a system-wide search, we over here we have only how many lines we have? Only like a handful, right? About 10 or 15. But in reality, if you're doing a system-wide search, you may have a lot of errors coming up on the screen here. So I'll show that in a moment here. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just say 2 greater than, and I'm going to say /dev/no. So I don't care about the errors I don't want to see. I just want to see the good output. Okay, so when I do this, all the bad errors, which we don't want to see, like one of the bad errors is permission denied, or anything which is associated with a command not found, anything which is an error, you won't get to see it. You will see only the good part. Is that good enough, or you want me to explain more?
That's good. Thanks.
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do next is okay. So here, all these are errors. These are errors. These are errors, and this is a good output. Okay. So what 2 greater than sign does is it filters out um, any errors and show you good output. So for that to filter out, you have to send it to somewhere. Either you could send it to the file, or you could send it to devnull. For this to be working, you have to send it to a file or /devnull. Okay, if you think the errors you want to analyze it, send it to the file. Or if you don't care about the errors, just send it to the devnull. File, if you need to analyze it, analyze the errors, or send it to devnull if you don't care about errors. Error output, I should say. Okay. So I'm going to generate this here like a system-wide error and see what happens here. So if I do ls-, L, and I'm gonna do slash like this. I'm gonna do like if I do a asterisk, it did generate some errors, did I? No, it didn't. So let me clear this. What I could do is I could do ls-l. So what I could do is I could do the find here. Okay, by the way, let's learn about the find command also. So if I do like find, okay, and then I'm gonna do a system-wide search -name, and then I'm giving a name of the file, text file. And if I just run as is like this here, look at this, look at all the commands I'm getting errors here. Okay, so I don't want to see all the errors in here. So it probably has more errors than a good output here, right? Oh, luckily I found one output here by just visually looking at it. But it gets a little painful when you have a lot of files it's going through, right? So if I do 2 greater than, and I said dev null, so it's gonna go through and search, and then it finds the file here. All the errors are gone. Okay? So now the find command is really important here, guys. I'm going to explain it in great detail, okay? Okay, so let's look at the find command here. So the find is find command so find command, it finds the file or the file command finds the file you're looking for in a directory. So before that, let me do this. So I'm doing find and a period and a -name and then a text file. So when I type a period, what does it mean?
The current directory.
Present working directory. Very good. So let me explain this. So this part is So this is command and the directory and the name. Oh, okay, there should be one more here. So command the directory location where you want to find, and -n means using name, and file name. Okay. So when you do this, this is the output you get. Or if you say you don't know the present working directory, if you do /home, okay, so you're gonna get errors here, but this is where you're gonna use 2 greater than /dev/null, and that is the output you get.
So, sir, we can use both command, yes, to find the folder.
Yeah. By the way, in Linux, a file is a file, and a folder is also a file. Is that shocking? In Linux, file is a file, and folder is also a file. The way Linux handles file, so it's called file system. Linux is a file system operating system. Linux operating system is a file system, and it doesn't have any graphics. Okay, have you come across any graphics? No, right? We usually use there is a way you could use some graphics, but there is nobody is using that. It just add on, and it hampers a lot of problems. It does create a lot of problems having a file a graphics in a text environment. So a file is a file, and folder is a file also. Definitely, you could just replace the folder name in here, and it will look it for you. Okay, so this is what it is here. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'll show you the inode. I think did I showed you so what there is one more thing called inode. If you do ls-i and the name of the file, it gives the file name as well as the alphanumeric code for the file. Okay, so now we are learning about inode number. Okay.
Sir, I think Greg have a question. He raised his hand.
Yeah.
Disregard.
Yeah. What is the question?
No, I discard, please.
Oh, okay. All right. So let's have an text file, right? So what I'm gonna do, how do I find using the file name? So I do same thing, bring the line back up. Instead of instead of name, you do inum, and then instead of file name, you replace it with the number. Okay, and you hit enter. There you go. It went through and find the exact file, but this time with the number here. So it find the file which is sitting here. It went and looked around in home. You could also do it search for like from the topmost directory. I'm going to explain topmost directory next week. But when you hit enter like that, then you have this here. So it went through the entire system and it found we provided the information, use this number using inum. That means inode number. I'll explain that in a bit with this number. And then I don't want to see any garbage output. I just want to see the good output. So when we ran this is what it comes out to the file here, where it's matching with the name. The number is matching with the name output. Do you guys agree here? Okay. So here inode. Find using inode, okay? Okay, so you have the inode number here, and we are finding it using inode number, and then it did found the correct file, okay? It found the correct file. Okay, so give me 1 second here. So find command using inode, and let me put this in here. Do you need the screenshot here, or you guys are okay? I think it should be okay here. What I'm gonna do is all right, so I'm gonna capture this here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this is a command. and this is the location where it's looking at. Okay, location or a directory. Okay, and then inum using inode number. And inode number. And this is a standard error. And then this is a discard directory. Okay. All right. And let's move on. Before that, let me just review what I have here so far. So we have a find command using this here. Okay. And 2 greater than. Any questions about this redirector? I think just practice it a few times and you should be good. Yeah. By the way, you guys should be practicing every day, at least 30 minutes. Just log in and then practice. You go to the website and put the putty right next to it and then start practicing it. And if you think you are want to get creative, you could do that too. Okay, all right. So,
Oh, sir, question.
mhm.
So, like, after today class, so if the server is open, so I can log in and I can use it?
Yeah, you could use
Oh,
it.
I thought like, it's not that, so I couldn't do it. But I did like, my Ubuntu machine. So, okay, so I'll do it in here.
Yeah. I mean, so we'll ping me offline because I'm giving you, if you want to continue on, then there is a fees involved. So I already talked to you guys. So we could, so the course is going to last 8 to 10 weeks, and we have a lot of things to cover, like the file system, creating the file system, mounting it, scripting, Ansible. So those are the things I'm going to cover that. Okay, so there is also things called permissions, directory structure. There are a bunch of other stuff that will continue on here, but yeah, the server access will be there. But if you want to continue on, then you have to pay the fee. All right, so let's move on. Ping me directly, side ping me, then we could talk about it. Okay. All right. So moving on, the next command is I'm going to show you grep. Okay. Grep is this is used to uh, search the specific word in the file. Okay. And it is actually like filtering out. Use it as filter to give you output. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say cat file, text file, and let me do one thing here. Let me let me capture the error. If I do 2 greater than, what will happen? All the errors here is going to go onto this file here, but it will keep this part. Okay, so let me do this. And now if I cat the file, I have a lot more information in here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear this. Let me bring that output one more time. So there is a lot of output here, right? This is getting bit of a headache here. So what I want to do is I just want to um, I want to like grep for somebody who like bit here. Okay, I want to just filter out that name. So what I'm going to do is grab and give the pattern I want to do that. And then the file name you want to filter out. So what it did was it looked for the information, it looked for the pattern here. And it matched, you know what, actually this looks bad here. Let me just get rid of this here. Let me do ls-l home. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send this output to text file here. So if I do cat text file here, I have list of all these people here, right? So I want to filter out Louis. So I just want to filter out that name here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab Louis and I'm going to do it in text file. And what the system did was it found Louis in this pattern here and brought that filter out only that line. And there is one more way to do this here is like you could do cat text file, then use the pipe. Pipe is the key on the, so if you have like, let me bring on onboard keyboard. Okay, so look here. You have to use shift and then use this sign here. So it's like a little vertical line. Okay, this is called pipe. And then you could do grab and then you could do Louis. Or you don't have to type everything exact. You could just type LUI and hit enter. Okay, oh, I forgot P. So it will give you the same result. Or let's do cat text file in here. And what we could do is you could just type Greg. Okay, so, and then you type Greg and hit enter. It will match that line for you. Okay, so we have this line here. And it matches the pattern. Okay, all right. So now, okay, 2 minute pause. Anybody has any questions? Any questions regarding grep command?
Yes. So prior to the output you have listed here, you did a ls space -l/home. Didn't catch the other commands that you had in there.
Oh, okay. So, like, what I would need to do is what I was just trying to do is I need to have some text in the file. The earlier text was not enough, right? If you go up here. Okay, I cannot scroll here. So earlier in the text, there was not enough substance here, right? Like this here, it's only few lines here. So what I did was, if I do ls-l/home, I have like bunch of lines here, like a good amount of lines. So what I did was I just sent that to text file. Okay, now that I have this, what? No, remember, this is very powerful. Greater than. So the standard redirector here, standard output. Okay, let's go back here to the redirector. So we have standard input, standard output, and standard errors, right? So I want to manipulate this output here, but I want to send it into this file. So for that purpose, I did ls-l and send it to this file here. So when I did this command here, I don't see any output here. Normally, I would be expecting this output here, right? Without greater than sign. So I have this without that, and I hit enter. Now I have some content in my file. Right? I have some content in my file, and then now I'm using the grep command to search this file. Now this is nothing to do with this LSF and L anymore. I'm just searching the content of the file. Is that clear enough, or should I explain you more?
Very clear. Thanks.
Okay, good. All right, so moving along. Okay, so the next, so we did grep for Greg, and it matches in. So here it says, its full name is Gregory, so it matches the pattern. Okay. So one thing I want to show you is, let me clear this and let me go into VI text file. And then I'm going to go to the end of the file, and then I'm going to, over here, I'm going to put something in capital letters, Zafar, Gregory, Samuel. Okay, like that. So let me save and exit. And let me clear this. Now, if I do the same command, if I grep for only Greg, it's finding only one line here. Why? Because it is case sensitive, it's matching only the case. But if I do -I and this thing, so now -I means ignore the case sensitivity. So it's ignoring the case sensitivity, and it's finding two lines here. -I ignores the case sensitivity. So I added this switch -I, and then this is the output we got here. I got output here because it's matching this part here, Greg. And it's matching this part here, Greg. Okay, now this is going to be helpful if you have a 10,000 line file and you're looking for such pattern and you do something like this here, okay? So these are the basic commands here. Going on, you will be using these basic commands in combination with other commands. Now, if I do WC and then the file name, WC means word count. Word count is a tool you could use to find out before you use the file. You could use the word count to tell you how big the file is and stuff. So here, what I could do is, let me just put this and split this up and explain you. So here, 23. WC is word count command. Okay, so this output here is, first output is lines, number of lines a file has. So if we do cat text file, so how many lines it has? So over here, it says 23 lines, right? So let's count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 18, 19, 21, 22, 23. It's not counting this line here, okay? So total, it has 23 lines. And it says 176 is the words. 176 are the words. If you count this as one word, this is another word, this is another word, so on. Altogether, it has 176. Okay, and 1260 characters. So what does it mean? Like a name here, 1, 2, 3, Zafar 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So Zafar 1 has 7 characters. So the entire file has 1260 characters in it, okay? I think it is also including space. And this is the file name. All right. Okay. I think I'm going to stop here for today. And so anybody, if you have any questions, go ahead and send me the message or put it in the group. And then what I'll do is I'll upload this to the website and the video. You could watch it later here. So please do the practice at least 30 minutes a day so that you get what you're doing and retain or grasp what you're learning here. So stay put. This is just the beginning. There's a lot of things you need to learn in the Linux environment. Okay, so let me stop recording here.